This is a Chippendale chair that has no seat. A seat frame was made by somebody else in my volunteer work. I added the webbing and I was asked to fill it with horsehair as it is in keeping with the style of the chair. This fabric was chosen because it resembles needlework. The fabric is of drapery material. What I will do now is to make a welting cord on its 3 sides and cover it with cambric. So this seat measures 13.5 inches, 17 inches on the front and 13.5 inches on the other side. You then add 5 inches for the fold and another 5 inches on the other side, which sums up to 54 inches. So I will need 54 inches for the welt cord to go on 3 sides of the chair. This curtain panel measures 64 inches, so I have more than enough. I can use the whole length of the material. I am marking the edge of the material so I know I have a straight line to base my measurements from. The width of the material needed to make the welting cord measures 1.5 inches wide, so I will measure 1.5 inches on 3 points and connect the points with this straight edge. If you have the welt cord ruler, that is just the right width to mark the fabric because the width of the ruler is 1.5 inches. So when you make the single welt, having that ruler would be easier. I don't have one yet, so I will use this one for now. To attach the starting end of the welt cord, I cut the tissue welt shorter than the fabric and fold the excess fabric inside, sandwiched in between the outer welt. I start at this end because this side abuts on the chair frame and I only need welt cord on 3 sides of the seat. For the corner, I make a V-cut so I can turn the welt cord with less puckering or bulking. And when I'm happy with the positioning, I then staple the underside and layer the turning welt cord on top of it and staple again. When I position the welt cord, you can see my fingers guiding the welt cord so it extends a bit out of the chair frame. I do this so you can see the form of the welt cord when placed on top of the seat. When I reach the second corner, I do the same thing as the first corner. I make the V-cut, and after making the V-cut, I fit the welt cord around the corner, making sure the welt cord extends as much as it did on the other sides for uniformity. Sometimes, there is still some bulking when you do the turn, so you need a deeper cut or a wider V-cut. You do the V-cut again, being careful not to cut through the sewing stitch of the welt cord. Here again, I use my fingers to guide and to gauge how much the welt cord extends outside the seat frame so it looks uniform when placed on the chair. On this end, I will show you a different way to end your welt cord. Cutting the welt cord about 2 to 3 inches from the edge of the seat, I undo the stitches on this end to show more of the tissue welt. Then I mark where it ends by feeling it against the seat frame and cut it a little bit shorter because you still have to take into account the thickness of the fabric that wraps around it. I then fold the excess fabric under and secure it with staples. Again, this is different from the way I attached it at the beginning, but try both methods on your projects and see which one you prefer. After inspecting that the welt cord extends uniformly, secure or staple loose welt cord. For the cambric or dust cloth, we measure the width and length of the seat again. Since the seat is wider on the front than the back, we use the front measurement and add about 1.5 inches so we can fold the cambric when we staple it. After securing the cambric with a few staples, I can cut the sides according to the shape of the seat, keeping in mind the 1.5 inches allowance. And here's the Chippendale chair with a new seat and a smart looking welt cord around it.